when you have a sense that you're going, is this really necessary, or is it
right?
And that's where you start to get more uncomfortable, and you're thinking, there's not a performance here. Okay,
right.
But I mean, what is this doing?
Everyone's just going, Henry, just shut up and do the thing. And I'm like, I don't want to do the thing because he wouldn't do it this way.
When it comes to fans, it is a fan's right to have whatever opinion they want to have, and people are going to be upset because, especially when you're talking about books or games, because you're never going to be the exact person who they had in their head or who they played.
Henry Cavill is fed up with the woke changes and creative meddling running the beloved characters he's so passionate about, and he finally decided to walk away. We all know him as the iconic star of The Witcher. But what most fans don't realize is how hard he fought behind the scenes to protect Geralt of Rivia and preserve the heart of the series. He went head-to-head with money-driven Crete, who stayed from the original source material, all because he cared deeply about giving fans the story they deserved. But when it became clear that his fight for authenticity was unwelcome, Cavill made the bold choice to leave. So what really happened? What pushed him to take such a drastic step? Let's dive into the full story behind Henry Cavill's battle for creative integrity and his stand against woke.
I really feel the love, and I love you guys too. It's so wonderful to be here. But I'm going to talk about what it was like filming my final season, and believe me, working with you guys was the biggest pleasure. So, just want to say I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss you very much.
Why did Henry Cavill quit The Witcher? Well, it turns out it wasn't just because of playing Superman, it was because he's having a lot of problems with the show. He's been really upset with the writing, and he wants the show to be more accurate to the books. And supposedly behind the scenes, the writers just do not care about the actual books.
And it was not even a year ago where Henry very publicly said that he is committed to doing the planned 7 seasons of the Netflix Witcher on one condition. That condition being that the writers can manage to tell great stories while honoring the source material this show is apparently meant to be based on. Now,
okay, well that actually does fucking indicate something.
Henry Cavill wasn't just an actor playing Geralt of Rivia. He was a fan, a gamer, and someone who deeply understood the world of The Witcher. Before being cast, Cavill was already immersed in the universe, having played The Witcher video games and later diving into the books by Andrzej Sapkowski. He knew the lore, the characters, and the tone of the story inside out. That's why when he took on the role of Geralt, it wasn't just another acting job, it was personal. Cavill's passion for the source material was evident. From the start, he didn't just memorize lines, he shaped how Geralt would be portrayed on screen. Remember those iconic grunts and stoic expressions? That was Cavill's idea. He wanted to capture the complexity of Geralt, the quiet but fierce monster hunter with a strong moral compass, just as fans knew him. But Cavill wasn't just passionate about the character, he was determined to stay true to Sal's vision and the world he created. Despite Cavill's dedication, things didn't always go smoothly on set. Reports soon emerged about creative clashes between Cavill and the show's writers. Here's where things got messy. While Cavill was a fan of the books and games, some of the writers on the show reportedly weren't. In fact, former writer and producer Bo Deo revealed that some members of the writing team actively disliked the source material. Showrunner Lauren D. Hizid tried to find a balance, but the tension was clear. Cavill wanted the show to stay true to its roots, while the writers wanted to take creative liberties. Cavill pushed hard for more accurate storytelling. He wanted Geralt to remain a morally complex character and fought to keep the gritty, grounded world intact. Fans noticed that Cavill's portrayal of Geralt carried the depth and authenticity they loved from the books and games. But behind the scenes, this drive for authenticity reportedly didn't sit well with everyone. Some insiders claim Cavill's insistence on staying true to the lore made him difficult to work with, while others saw him as a hero standing up for what fans wanted. By the end of Season 3, tensions had reached a breaking point. Cavill, unwilling to compromise on what he believed was right for the show, made the difficult decision to leave. His exit shocked fans worldwide, who quickly rallied behind him. Many blamed Netflix for straying too far from the original material, with one fan writing, "Netflix destroyed a possible golden goose by making stupid changes for no reason. We wanted a show based on an established book series, not fanfiction." Another fan went even further, saying Henry Cavill will forever be enshrined as The Witcher. The fact that he's leaving because of treacherous ego-stared producers speaks for itself. They lied, they slandered, and butchered the series. These reactions weren't isolated across media. Fans expressed their frustration, with many pledging to stop watching the show after Cavill's departure.
Guys expressed it is exactly how I feel. It's the character means so much to me, and it's been 5 years now, and I've, quite rightly, otherwise I probably shouldn't deserve to wear the cape, but I never gave up hope. And it's amazing to be here now talking about it again. There is such a bright future ahead for the character, and I'm so excited to tell a story with an enormously joyful Superman.
This situation right here is exactly why you can't trust anybody, bro. James Gunn announced over a couple of tweets that him and Peter Safran have a new slate imagined for the DCU, which includes a younger version of Superman, meaning that Henry Cavill is no longer going to play the Man of Steel. This set the entire internet ablaze because this man deserved better. He did a great job as Superman. Henry himself put out an emotional statement talking about how much he enjoyed playing the Man of Steel and how the symbolism and hope that the character brings is still going to be shown in the future, just not with him. DC is 100% going into reboot mode, which sucks specifically for Henry Cavill, considering we also lost him as Geralt of Rivia since he's no longer going to be showing up in The Witcher Season 3.
Cat is out of the bag when it comes to Henry Cavill coming into the mix. How much did you have to do with that, mister? And what do you know about Man of Steel 2?
For years, audiences have been so passionate and vocal. We've established Black Adam as the most powerful and unstoppable force on our planet, but the fans have been so passionate about where's the most unstoppable force in the universe? Where is he? We've all been fighting for this moment. Welcome home.
I wanted to make it official that I am back as Superman. And the image you see on this post and what you saw in Black Adam are just a very small taste of things to come.
Fans, this felt like a slap in the face. They had just been told that their beloved Superman, portrayed by Henry Cavill, the actor who embodied hope, strength, and humanity, was making a grand return, yet suddenly that hope was snatched away. Instead of continuing the story fans cherished, Gunn and Safran chose to wipe the slate clean, opting for a younger, rebooted Superman in Superman Legacy. To many, it seemed like yet another unnecessary woke reinvention, dismissing what made Cavill's Superman special. In the first place, for Henry Cavill, playing Superman wasn't just a job, it was the defining chapter of his career. He spoke often about what the character meant to him personally and professionally. To Cavill, Superman represented optimism, hope, and the strength to always do what's right, even in the face of impossible odds. His portrayal captured this perfectly, and fans loved him for it. Cavill's vision was to create a Superman who inspired people, one who stood for something greater, a symbol of light in a world that often feels dark. So, when Cavill publicly announced his return, it wasn't just exciting news, it felt like a new beginning both for him and the DC Universe. Unfortunately, what should have been a celebratory moment quickly turned into a major disappointment. James Gunn's decision to reboot the DC Universe blindsided both Cavill and the fans. What made things worse was the way it was handled. Cavill had been told by the previous leadership at Warner Brothers to publicly announce his return, only to find out later that he wasn't part of the studio's future plans. Gunn, while insisting he bore no ill will toward Cavill, explained that Superman Legacy would focus on a younger version of the character, making Cavill Superman not a good fit for the new direction. We didn't fire Henry was never cast, Gunn said in an interview, trying to justify the decision. For me, it's about who I want to cast as Superman, and for this story, it isn't Henry. He went on to acknowledge that Cavill had been treated poorly by the previous regime, admitting that Cavill was getting around by a lot of people. While Gunn claimed there were no hard feelings, fans weren't buying it. Many believed Cavill had been used as a PR tool to generate hype for Black Adam, only to be discarded when the studio's plans changed. The timeline of events made it look like Cavill's return had been dangled in front of fans to boost ticket sales, only for the rug to be pulled out once it served its purpose. Despite being humiliated and blindsided, Cavill handled the situation with class. He released a statement on social media confirming that he would no longer be returning as Superman and wished Gunn, Safran, and the entire DC team the best. The changing of the guard is something that happens. I respect that James and Peter have a universe to build. I wish them and all involved with a new universe the best of luck and the happiest of fortunes, he wrote. Fans, however, didn't take the news so lightly. Many were furious, feeling that Cavill had been treated unfairly and using as a pawn in a larger corporate game. This is heartbreaking. Cavill was the perfect Superman, and he deserved better, one fan wrote. Another added, first The Witcher, now Superman. Hollywood doesn't deserve Cavill. Once again, Cavill found himself caught in the crossfire of creative changes in corporate politics. Just like with The Witcher, his commitment to staying true to the character and delivering something meaningful seemed to have made him a casualty of an Industry more focused on reinvention and profit than honoring beloved series, but while Hollywood's leadership may have let him down, Cav's fans didn't. His graceful handling of the situation only strengthened his reputation as a dedicated and professional actor who genuinely cares about the roles he plays. Fans rally behind him, praising his integrity and calling out the industry for his treatment of one of its most beloved stars. And both The Witcher and Superman, Cavill wasn't afraid to stand up for what he believed in, even if it meant walking away. And while the studios may have moved on, Cav's legacy as a fan-first actor, someone who truly respects the character he plays, remains intact. What's next for Henry Cavill? With his new passion project Warhammer 40,000 in development with Amazon, Cavill is once again stepping into a world he deeply loves. Only time will tell, but there are rumors that it's the same issue. the Space Marine side, yet Cavill didn't back down. He chose to protect the characters and stories fans love, even if it meant being labeled as difficult in an industry driven by profit and constant reinvention. Cav's insistence on staying true to beloved source material made him stand out, but not always in a way Hollywood appreciated. Cav's dedication to authenticity wasn't about ego, it was about respecting the fans and the creators of the original works. For him, playing Geralt or Superman wasn't just acting, it was about doing justice to characters that millions cherished. And while some insiders may have seen his persistence as problematic, fans saw something different: a hero who refused to let corporate interests ruin the heart of these stories. As one fan put it, if fighting for what's right makes Cavill difficult, maybe Hollywood needs more difficult stars. Cavill's story is a reminder that standing up for authenticity might not always win you friends in the boardroom, but it earns you the respect and admiration of audiences worldwide. Henry Cavill's career has become a case study in how Hollywood treats actors who challenge the norm. While many stars stay quiet and go along with whatever creative direction they're given, Cavill has always been vocal about protecting the soul of the characters he portrays. This, however, often put him at odds with studios that prioritize creative freedom for writers, even at the expense of established lore. Fans view Cavill not as a troublemaker, but as a protector of the stories they care about. Cavill isn't difficult, he's a hero. One fan wrote after his exit from The Witcher was announced, his refusal to compromise has sparked a broader conversation about the tension between industry politics and creative integrity in a world where profit often overshadows passion. Cavill represents a shift toward valuing stories and characters for what they are, not just what they can be turned into. Henry Cavill's love for Warhammer 40,000 runs deep. Known for being a lifelong fan of the franchise, Cavill has spoken about his passion for collecting and painting miniatures, immersing himself in the game's complex lore, and even spending hours strategizing battles. For someone who grew up with Warhammer, this new project isn't just another acting job, it's a dream come true. After leaving The Witcher and Superman behind, Cavill announced that he would not only star in, but also produce an upcoming Warhammer 40,000 TV series with Amazon. For fans, this was a beacon of hope. With Cav's dedication to authenticity, many believed he would finally have the creative freedom to bring one of the most cherished fantasy universes to life without interference. However, not everything is as perfect as it seems. In recent years, Games Workshop, the company behind Warhammer 40,000, has been at the center of heated debates over progressive changes. While Warhammer has traditionally been seen as a male-dominated geeky pastime where players paint miniatures, build armies, and engage in strategic battles, things have been evolving. Games Workshop has made efforts to introduce more female characters, toned down overly sexualized designs, and brought in the game's appeal to a more diverse audience. One major flashpoint came when the company introduced female warriors into the custodies, an elite group of genetically engineered fighters previously thought to be male-only. Some fans accused the company of gender flipping for woke points. Social media posts and headlines declared it woke. Hammer claiming that these changes were ruining the lore. Despite the backlash, many fans in online communities such as Reddit seem less bothered by the inclusivity changes and more focused on gameplay issues like rule imbalances. In recent updates, the one's vocal opposition to inclusivity and gaming appears to be shrinking, with fewer fans truly outraged by these changes. For Cavill, stepping into the Warhammer world is both exciting and risky. On one hand, he's deeply passionate about the franchise and knows its lore better than most. On the other, he's entering a space already embroiled in cultural debates over inclusivity, and what OS fans who initially looked forward to Cav's involvement now worry about whether the show will stay true to the grim, dark, gritty tone that made Warhammer 40,000 so beloved, or whether it will succumb to the same pressures that led to his exits from The Witcher and Superman. Given Cav's history of fighting for authenticity, there's hope that he will push back against unnecessary changes and ensure that the series respects the lore. However, with Amazon, a company known for incorporating progressive themes in its productions, backing the project, some fear that Warhammer 40,000 could be yet another franchise altered to fit modern cultural narratives. Still, Cav's involvement offers something rare: a lead actor who genuinely understands the material and is personally invested in getting it right, whether or not he succeeds in navigating the tricky waters of Fan expectations and industry politics remains to be seen, but if there's one thing we know about Cavill, it's that he doesn't back down from a fight for authenticity. Henry Cavill's journey through Hollywood highlights a rare quality in today's entertainment industry: integrity. From his battles to protect The Witcher's lore to his graceful exit as Superman, Cavill has consistently stood for authenticity, even when it costs him major roles. Now, with his Warhammer 40,000 project on the horizon, fans are hopeful that his passion and dedication will finally be rewarded in an industry often driven by profit over quality. Cavill's commitment to staying true to beloved stories has made him both a target and a hero, whether he's fighting for Geralt Superman or the grim dark world of Warhammer. One thing is clear: Cavill's journey is far from over, and fans will be right there with him. What do you think? Misunderstood hero or maverick who refuses to compromise? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more deep dives into the world of entertainment. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.